this is Vicky, also known as DragonflySoars.
And this is Tiffany, also known as Mojave Knitter.
And you're watching DragonflySoars, and it is Sunday the 27th of December.
Yes.
So we're recording together, and we have regular stuff to show you, and present stuff to show you, and so, I don't know, we didn't decide what we're doing first. You can show the art.
Well, she showed you her version of the Josh Reich's Scarf Miss mystery knit along that wasn't a scarf miss. So
It wasn't a scarf.
Yeah, but I did mine as well. I actually, we have a new local yarn store in our hometown.
Which I have not been to yet, and I actually meant to go to this weekend and forgot all about.
Yeah.
I never make it there.
Yeah. But I got this, because one of the yarns that that's tags I forgot. Oh, it's in my project notes. But this is like a hand spun of a locally, like Wisconsin local person that has, hand spun that she sells. So it was a gradient from like this blue, and then it goes through purple and through
How much of it do you have left?
Less than a half a skein. I didn't weigh any of it, so. And then I bought the 2 other colors from the store where Mom works, so it's Matosh and I think 3 Irish Girls to go with it. So.
I had a lot of my yarn left, so
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, I think I would have to weigh it. I knew I was going to have a lot of the cream and the navy left over, but those are pretty basic colors. I can mix them with other stuff. So, inspired.
So that was the 2015 Josh sort of a knitter scarfy thing. And I showed you mine last time, but I'm also starting. This is the one from last year. Yeah. It has a lot of ends to weave in. But last time I recorded, I was thinking that it was also like a week long, and it's actually 11 days. Even though it's called 12 days, which is very confusing.
He added for the 12th day, he gave us a link, he gave us the pattern for the 3, 5, 7 mitts that he does that are very simple short row mitts. That are normally a separate pattern that you can buy, but if you were part of the knit along last Christmas time, that was our 12th day, was those mitts.
Which also had me confused because I kept seeing people having the mitts listed under the scarfy shenanigans, which is what it ended up being called. And then I was confused because there's no mitts in this pattern. And then she explained it, but really they should be listed under the 3, 5, 7.
And when I did it, I did list it under the 3, 5, 7 mitts because even though I got the pattern is linked through the scarf, but
yeah. But anyway, so I started this. I think I just started day 6. Is that right?
Yeah, because you said day 5 was a long clue.
Oh, yep. And then I just did the very beginning of day 6 is right here. Yeah, day 5 was all the way from here to here. And part of it is there's so much going on here that it's taking me more concentration than when I'm home by myself. Because when I'm home by myself, like when I was doing my Spired, on the new iPad, you can have picture-in-picture. So I put on like Top Model, which doesn't really take any brain power to watch. I put that on in the corner, and then I have my pattern up, and I sit there very happily I can hear it in the background and kind of look over at it and follow my pattern. And here we're usually all talking because we don't see each other all at the same time.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's my Josh Reich's thing. Do I show you TARDIS thing?
Yeah, I don't know. The other, this is actually, oh man, I'm giving it to her.
That's why I was just doing off of this.
I've been trying to keep this away from cooks now that it's finished. I was commissioned, I wore my, it's bigger on the inside shawl that's a Nitty pattern, Nitty.com.
I think you showed it when we recorded over Labor Day, didn't you?
Yours? Yeah. So, and I wore it to work, and I actually had people at work that actually recognize Hoovian things. And really, it's a good thing that she actually has pets too. But
we have all 4 pets here, and it's been hard to keep anything pet free.
Anyway, so she really liked it, and she's a co-worker friend, and she's not a Hoovian, but her sister really is. and does a lot of the cosplay type stuff, especially with Doctor Who things. So she really wanted to have a shawl like the bigger on the inside for her birthday, which is like early January. So, and she was willing to pay the appropriate amount for what this is, because this is kind of a time-consuming shawl. So I decided, she picked out the color from Knit Picks. It's their new Hawthorne fingering yarn, which I actually like. It's a good, you know, it's a little tighter weave than their Stroll, because that kind of fuzzes out on you. I mean, it's soft, but this is has better stitch definition.
Which is good, because with the TARDISes on there, they would be hard to see.
Yeah, and then I decided to add the beads to the top, and then a little bit of beads. I decided to do slightly different edging than mine. So I decided to mix it up so it looked different than mine. I mean, it's a different blue, and it's a slightly different details. That's partially why I like this one, because you can personalize it and make it different. So I was able to finish that when I was here. So it's done.
Well, and it's important, like you said, that she's willing to pay what it's worth, because that's one thing, is people are always like, oh, make me this, and then they don't even understand the cost of materials, much less the time.
But she actually comes from a family, because like the sister that this is going to has her own Etsy shop and makes these really awesome, creepy, weird, female sculpey type sculptures. So, so it's
they understand time and stuff like that.
Yes, not just material cost. So those are the two things I finished while I was here. Actually, I started this and finished this while I was here.
Yeah, the only thing I have finished...
I didn't bring up my socks that I sort of finished.
How do you sort of finish socks?
Because I don't have enough. I was doing different heels in different colors, and I don't have enough of the orange yarn. Anyway, I have to rip out a pair of the X's socks to get the orange, because I have a pair of socks I knitted that I use the same orange for the heels and toes, and I just need to, tear them apart to get that little bit. So I have enough for a heel, because I don't have enough for a heel, because I did like opposite type thing, and I didn't bring those up. But they're just bright striped socks. I have a picture of them.
Yeah. But because I just recorded the other day, but I did finish my first Threads of Compassion and Comfort shawl that I had just barely started the last time I recorded. So apparently I crocheted a lot faster than I had in the past, because I finished it in like 3 days. It was 3 skeins of homespun. So, but it's done. And that I finished here. I think everything else we have is
in progress. That's why, I forgot about those socks, but
yeah. The only thing I have, well, I showed you the scarf, and the only other thing is I did work on my twitchy socks, so they're a little farther along. I don't remember where they were last time, because I didn't mark it. I actually wasn't thinking I'd get that much time, and then I ended up with more time than I thought for conference calls and waiting for best friend.
And then you started another.
Yep. I started another comfort shawl, but this is the No Beginning Chain Crazy Blocks. Well, it's an Afghan, but I made it smaller for a shawl, except for I actually could have made it like 5 squares shorter. It would have been plenty long enough. And this is 1 skein of homespun, and it needs to be, at the end, it has to be at least 60 inches long. So I'm going to need a lot more homespun.
Yeah.
And I didn't work any more on it, because I was thinking that if I can't find the same gray, then I'll want to pick a different color, and then I want to alternate them. So I didn't start another skein, because I didn't want to get
too far
and then go, well, crap, I can't find that gray, and now it's going to look really weird.
Yeah.
So I figured if I can't find the same gray, I'll pick an alternate. Yeah.
With something.
Yeah. So I just let it be. And we have Christmas present knitting.
Yeah.
Or you still got something in progress?
Well, I have 3 things in progress.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Because she's been here, she actually has like stuff, whereas most of my stuff ended up being Christmas presents. So now,
yeah,
they were finished now.
Yeah. There's these socks. New pair of socks since I finished the other socks, which I'm not showing you. This is actually Kelly's Ethereal Fibers yarn that I bought a while ago. I used part of the skein, like 100 yards of a skein for a shawl, so I have about 300 yards left over, which is plenty for socks, although I am adding different color for the cuff and the toe just to make sure I have enough for 2 socks. It's called the textured something. Patterns in here.
It's got neat texture to it.
Yeah, it's just the seed stitch with a waffle stitch. Yeah, thermal textured socks. So it just has the waffle stitch in the middle and seed stitch on the side. And otherwise, it's just your basic cuff down heel flap.
Well, most things are. I mean, most socks are all the same construction. I mean,
yeah.
Or you can just substitute your construction and your favorite stitch pattern.
Yeah. But that's what's going on with those. Those will actually probably slow down once I go back because they end up only being worked on at work at like lunch break, or if I need a break from staring at the computer because I'm making 10 billion maps. And then these, I showed these last time. They were a lot smaller, but I actually worked on these for while I was home. I actually split from the thumb, so they're the mittens. So
that was a Shannon Oki book I bought you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aurora Borealis?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's the magenta is a knit picks, and then the green is a sock blank from Daisy Knits that I got when I was at Zombie Knit Apocalypse. It's a very hard word for me to say. So, because I actually was, before I came, I was actually down here. So, I actually got a few rows done. But I think it was like, I haven't been working on it because I was like trying to, you know, like the TARDIS shawl was, I wanted to make sure I got done when I was home.
Well, it's a commission knit with a birthday deadline, so you needed to get that done.
And there was some Christmas knitting plus, you know, which that wasn't really hard. I mean, I did a couple of the Star Wars hats. Oh, that's the other, I didn't bring up my Star Wars hat. That's with me. I packed it.
We'll have to make pictures. She made a Star Wars hat for herself and her best friend, so.
Yeah. So, you know, and that was kind of partially holiday knitting. So, and I also think I just, as I mentioned, making maps, staring at computers, I just did not have the focus by the time you get home in the evening, especially when I end up with only like an hour or two to really sit down and knit, and you're not going to get very much done, especially with color work, because I have to figure out where I was, because that always takes me like 10-15 minutes, and then it's just...
Yeah, I was struggling the last few weeks because I was telling you about all the stuff going on at work. So either I would just sort of sit there and like stare at the TV, and then it would be like 8:30. I'd be like, I'm really tired, and about 9 o'clock I'd give up and say I'm going to bed. And best friend would kind of go, okay, because I was just so exhausted. I wasn't working on anything, or if I did, it was something that at least was kind of mindless, like your cowl. I mean, it was that I could actually work on during conference calls and stuff, and it was. Yeah. It was a simple project, but at least I could.
Yeah, so there was that. After the new year, we will have a new senior archaeologist. So I won't have to do 2 jobs. I can concentrate on my job, which does not take nearly as much brain power. It's just, it was a lot of reorganizing things and, and figuring things out along with just doing the basic duties of the senior archaeologist. So, I'm not talking about a simple knit. This is a simple knit.
But it looks so pretty. I mean, that yarn does a lot for it.
Yeah, this is, it's one of the, Way It shawls by Susan B. Anderson. And she did it to design for the Miss Babs Yowza What a Skeins. But this is actually Utopia, and they're the same giant 8 ounce of worsted yarn. I got this at the new local yarn store. It's called Tapestry. It's a colorway.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, so.
You're getting yourself all tangled in your...
Yeah, my hair clip that I forgot to take off. Maybe I'll just take it off there. So, that's just it. I'm just doing increase until I have 3 ounces left of yarn, and then do this ruffly thing and hit until you have so many grams, and then you do a picot bind off.
Yeah, I mean it's basically garter stitch right now, but it's pretty.
Yep, but it is a brainless one. I just wanted something that wasn't my socks or the mittens. I needed something with the bigger needles while it was here, and I would have loved to start the ministry shawl, because I did buy yarn for that, but I do not have the needles with me.
You keep confusing me when you call it the ministry shawl, because I'm like, what?
The threads of compassion.
Comfort shawls.
Comfort shawls. I know. But anyway, I got out of the store. So it mostly will be this. I'm trying a triangle shape, and I wanted to do a lace edging with this on the edge, just to make it different. But I don't have the big enough needles, because I think I usually use 10.5 or 11s, and those are all at home. So otherwise, I probably would have started than that. But
yeah, and then we had Christmassy stuff.
Well, she mentioned this thing.
This is called the Jillian's Ribbed Cowl, and it was a free pattern for a little bit, and so I grabbed it, and then I was looking in my stash to see if I had anything handy, and found that I had exactly the right amount in this purple yarn, and so I was like, oh, Tiff would really like this, and so I started working on it. It's not hard. It's basically half double crochets back and forth through the back loop the entire time. That's all it is. And then join it. I don't feel like I'm giving a lot away, because maybe it's always a free shawl, but I thought it was actually a paid for pattern, but really it's
not a complicated thing at all.
No. But it ends up, it's really stretchy, and she can wear it like a hood over her head.
Yeah, I did that this morning.
You do this thing, you do that. Yep. Yeah. Which actually, if it gets cold and you have to walk somewhere, that's not bad.
Yep. So there you go.
But it's made to like go over the shoulders, or it's made to be extra stretchy. And
yeah, you could double cowl it. So
yeah, it seemed like it would be very versatile, and it was a color that you like.
Yeah, it's a color I wear a lot. I wear a lot of purple. Magenta purples.
So Mom made this one. So
there's a story with this too.
Mom has this old tool called a K-tail knitter, and it's like this weird hook thing. If I had been smart, I would have brought it in here. But I had found a commercial for it, and had shown her it. That was like a really old commercial, and she was watching the commercial, and then she was all sad because she said that she never had all the book with all the extra stuff and the conversion chart and all this other stuff. And so I happened to look on probably eBay and actually found somebody selling the entire kit. I mean, I think it even still had the yarn in it. I mean, it was the whole kit. And I just had it shipped to her. I didn't tell her it was coming. And then she was like all excited when she opened it, because it was just a random surprise. So she had this cowl, and she actually put the K-tail knitter tool with it, so I would know that that was how she made it, was because she was playing with it. But the tool thing, the patterns in it are a little dated.
That's a good word.
So she also made me a hat, but then decided not to give it to me for a Christmas present, because we decided it looked silly.
Apparently there's a matching purse that goes with this hat.
Yes. Then I didn't get the magic purse. I'm so sad.
So sad.
So, yes, there's a matching hat.
The giant pom-pom.
Which has caused mostly great giggles between all of us. So, and I'm trying to decide, especially now that I just publicly humiliated the hat, should we give it to the Halos of Hope?
Or if somebody really likes the hat. There it is. But it is not your style.
No, it is not my style.
Mom made these stuff too. This was actually, she test knitted for Janet.
And I can't think what her designer name is.
I think it's just J-Net is what her Ravelry name. So you follow her through that. You'd find her designs.
Yeah,
too.
Mom posted it now, so I can link it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just there's a I mean, it's a basic hat, but it's got this, you know, a texture stuff, and it is striped, but the mom, yeah, and there's a matte coordinating cowl with it as well. But the two colors, she used Eco Duo, just a baby alpaca wool blend, that with natural wool, the natural fiber colors of the animals. But she picked two different browns, like a light cream to brown and a dark brown, and striped them. So it kind of did this tonal striping, which actually worked really nicely.
Yeah, she didn't realize that the one was actually going to stripe on its own, and then she was alternating the two yarns, so it actually made a different kind of striping, but it looked really cool.
Yes.
And at first she was kind of upset, and then I was like, but it looks really good. I really liked it. I think she had trouble working with it. I think the alpaca bothered her.
Yeah.
Because we actually talked about that alpaca is usually like the most hypoallergenic, and she was struggling with the alpaca content. So she really loves you.
But it is really soft.
And it looks really pretty.
Yes.
So the other thing I made Mom. Oh, here it is. Okay. And I will actually add. If I didn't lose them, I recorded little snippets of me doing these throughout the time. I made Mom these little miniatures. There's a little mini teddy bear and a little mini piggy, and the piggy is jointed so he can move. And a little mini gingerbread guy. She has a Santa's workshop dollhouse, and so I made them to go in there, and I was worried they were going to be too big, but she likes them very much, and she put them in there, but I stole them out so I could show you guys. And I made Best Friend a hat, but I'll just show you the next time because he actually took it with him. So
yeah, you figured it's just easier when you are able to grab it that you'll just talk about it then.
Yeah. So I think that's all I made.
Yeah.
She has lots of yarn.
Well, no, I mean, I showed some of it already.
You got gift yarn.
Yeah, I know.
So that a fabulous sister got you.
Yes, I know. I'm just like, okay. This is more Utopia that I got at the local yarn store, which is a really pretty...
Oh, it's Utopia with a sheepy U.
Yep.
I had not heard of Utopia.
Jen, my friend Jen actually knows of her, because it's must be at like Sauzier or one of the other nearby yarn stores sell it, so... And actually, even in Mom's store, they sell some of it. But this is their, the MCN base. I just like the red. I got 3 Irish girls from the store. I just like that color.
I have to, at one of these times, actually get to the local yarn shop.
And then, for gift yarn, Vicky got me, it's Knit Circus.
When I went on that tour a while back, I actually picked this up.
So it's a subtle gradient.
Yeah, it's part of... They made a new Impressionist line, which makes a very subtle gradient. This one's probably more subtle than most of them.
Yeah, because I was looking at the other ones, and there is a... You could see the change, but yeah, this one it may not. It would be a lot more subtle.
Which might be why they did this. This is a one of a kind. It's one of the colorways they tried out and decided not to make one of the main colorways. But when I saw it, I thought she would like it, and it's a huge skein.
Yeah, it's 200 grams, 800 yards.
Yeah, they're normally the Impressionist skeins are 100 grams, so they're normally half that size. But it was a special one of a kind in the shop only.
I'll just pull only one about, and then this is from Savvy Skeins, out of Texas apparently, because there's a little Texas thing on there. And
I saw it. This Savvy Skeins posted this on Etsy, and I was like, or not Etsy, it was on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I immediately went over to Etsy and bought it.
Yeah. So
I actually originally was thinking that I would keep it for me.
Well, that would have been fine.
And then I saw it, I was like, no, I think she would really like it. And I got there's actually 2 skeins.
Yeah. Oh, it actually came from the nephew, but he picked it out and it went fine.
It came while he was there, and I asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, because when he knows what he wants to get somebody, he's very good about it. But if he has no clue, then...
And this year, I think he had no clue, and he was kind of cranky about it, which made Grandma kind of cranky, which didn't help things. Because he doesn't like getting her books, and that's pretty much what she has on her wish list, so he was kind of cranky about that.
Which reminds me, what did I do with my books?
Oh yeah, you got books.
I started to bring them up. I don't know what I did with them. I must have not actually ever brought them up.
No.
Along with my Barbie.
Oh yeah, I brought my Barbie. You don't just have to talk about it.
Alright. Well, you talk, I'll go get my books, because they're all knitting related.
Spinning.
Yes. Well, the one actually has a bunch of knitting stuff.
Oh. Well, Mom found, I guess, I don't know where she saw it, but it actually listed as said it was archaeologist Barbie, but it's actually the paleontologist Barbie, which as Vicky pointed out, I would get all of them, I'm not a paleontologist, archaeologists don't do dinosaur bones, as a huge thing in the archaeology world about, like, we get asked if we dig up dinosaur bones. We don't do dinosaur bones. But anyway, plus the fact that she's Barbie, they tend to dress them in not appropriate clothing if you really are going to be digging in the dirt. So Mom decided to turn her into Barbie version of paleontologist to much more realistic archaeologist Barbie. So she either made or obtained things to make her more realistic. So, so she actually has socks. She didn't have socks originally.
I think she made the socks, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she made the socks. She didn't have socks. Her boots are okay. Those are appropriate boots.
And her shorts are what came with her.
Yeah, and they're fine. Technically, you would wear long pants, but we also, the cargo style, and if you're in a place where you don't have to walk through a bunch of, like, brush or whatever, you would roll them up because you do get hot. You know, a regular, like, you know, long sleeve shirt over a tank top, that's pretty much what I wear. I usually wear, you know, a bandana with my hair, and more appropriate, you know, like a little Indiana Jones hat, and sunglasses, because, and then I was saying that, like, what she came with is this pink satin top type deal, which you just do not wear this in the field. You wouldn't wear that in the field. It's just not appropriate field wear. No. Paleontologist or archaeologist. But I did say if I got her little beard, like little beers, and she would wear this like after you were digging in the field all day when you had beers with your fellow field scientists. Then
with your
it's fine.
fake tank top.
Yes. Yeah. The fake tank top. Yeah. But she also like she got, these are actually, I guess, they're army related.
Yeah, she got it from Monkey Depot.
Yeah, so, you know, pickaxe. I mean, depending on where you are, you don't always necessarily use this stuff. She made the screen, although she made it style like the way Dad used the screen, but there's different versions. It depends on where you're at. The one that we use, it actually has handles here and it's on legs, so it balances and you so you can shake it. And this is like a two-person one. There's different kinds. So, but
it's still a realistic screen.
Yes, it is. Yeah, no, I'm just saying there's different styles. But yeah, so there's like, and she made the paint brushes and the trowels, and because there's little paint brushes, there's little trowels, and then she made, you know, she got a little chair and a table to put stuff on. There's a little excavation unit.
There's a little excavation site, but I don't think we're going to pull that out because it's very fragile.
Yeah, and I didn't have a picture of it. I have a picture of everything else out. But anyway, so
Mom has a picture of
that.
Yeah. Actually, I probably have it because she was emailing me.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so yeah, so I have a little. So I have an archaeologist for everything. Eventually, she's going to be mailed to me because there's no way I can
carry her through the airport and the bus and the train.
Yes. So she will get mailed to me.
I got a Barbie too. She's not. A while back, Mom was looking at Barbie Collector was doing these Haunted Beauty Barbies, but what we were looking at is they have these really cool commercials, which I'll link to in the show notes. And she really liked the Mistress of the Manor, but we were watching them all together one day, you know, like we were emailing back and forth. And I told her I really liked the Zombie Bride. And even though she was like, really? Well, as we were opening stuff, I opened the box and I saw the word Barbie on it. And at first I just thought it was the box that her Barbie came in. Like that was the main shipping box. And then all of a sudden I read on it Zombie and I was like, oh! So I got the Haunted Beauty Zombie Bride, which I really like. And she will probably stay in the box right now, but...
My Queen Elizabeth's Barbie doll is still in her box, and my Mulder and Scully are still in their box, so I mean...
Yeah, and Mom has one that's still in the box.
Yeah, so they're out, but they just stay in their boxes.
Yeah, and actually she said she was glad she got it when she did, because...
Queen Elizabeth I, I should specify. Not Queen Elizabeth II, because that wouldn't be as exciting looking.
But anyway, she was saying she was glad she got it when she did because the price went up after that. But
my paleontologist Barbie did not stay in the box, and she's going to just be...
Well, she had to. You had to put her real clothes on. And...
Yes, exactly. And she had to have, like, a real trowel. And, you know, not dig up plastic dinosaur bones. She gets to excavate pot instead. So she's an archaeologist that works in the Southwest. That's where she's working. Yeah. Southwest. She's a Southwest archaeologist.
So just real quick, because I'm not going to, like, review them, but I got a Field Guide to Fleece. This is from Tiff. And she also got me Rare Luxury Fibers, which not only did it have spinning stuff, but it has, it has spinning, and then it has some knitting stuff, and it has weaving. So it actually has some other stuff in here. So.
Okay. The Knit Girls reviewed it and they really liked it, and it was not on her wish list, but it kind of went with some of the other stuff that she had on her wish list, so I decided that she should have it.
And this one was on my wish list.
Yes.
And there's two versions of this one, and this one's the small one, which is easier to carry around if you wanted to. Like if you were going to a, like Wisconsin Sheep and Wool or Rhinebeck or something like that.
Yeah.
You wanted to...
Yeah,
not that I actually do anything with sheep itself, and I have no interest in processing fleece, but it's just interesting.
Yeah, it's just one of those interesting information ones. I know, like, Lala carries hers around because she's really big at getting the fleeces, both her and Leslie do. I mean, that's like their big thing. I mean, they will split it between the two of them, but yeah. So it does have all, you know, their staple length and, you know.
I just mostly just thought it would be interesting.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a small, it's just one of those.
Because even like sometimes when you're at some of these things, there'll be like hand spun yarn and it'll tell you what the sheep was, and it'd just be.
Yeah, and then you can kind of find out more about the wool.
And then from my son, because he doesn't like getting me books.
Actually, we didn't realize it wasn't a book until it showed up. And we're like, oh, it's a DVD. Actually, Mom and I finally just picked something for him to give you. So we're just like, sure. Yep. It goes with the books I got you. Kind of was a theme.
I actually had just put this on the wish list recently because they just released it. It's 12 Ways to Spin Hand-Painted Top. And I was just interested in knowing, you know, different ways of actually looking at your top ahead of time and trying to figure out what you want it to be, because right now I just spin to spin, and what it is oh, that's really interesting. And then when I knit it up again, it's like, oh, well, that's even more interesting. I mean, I've had some stuff that like ended up almost having a striping effect when it was knit, but I had no clue when I spun it
that it would do that.
So I just thought it would be kind of interesting to see and kind of have it in your head what it might do. So, although all their examples look pretty much the same to me, so I'm not... Well, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
And since nobody's home this week, I can watch it.
Go.
And the other thing that Tiff gave me is I have a coupon for one pair of hand-knit socks. So
I will start those when I get back, because she told me bright, so I'll just.
Because she's gonna pick something out of her stash, and I said I would like something in
bright,
a brighter color. But after that, I'm not real picky.
Yeah,
except they can be a little longer than last time, because I normally actually wear them a little longer.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, well, the standard cuff length is 6 inches. It's usually the standard length.
Yeah, and I'm usually 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not significantly shorter. The ones that you made me with that are shorties actually fall into my shoes sometimes.
Oh. That actually was the pattern.
Yeah.
I think when I made them for myself, I did make them long because I don't like short socks. But yeah, they could have. You live and learn.
Yeah. I wear them, but they tend to fall into my shoes sometimes. Mom also gave us pins to turn into, or buttons to turn into shawl pins or something like that.
Yeah, the only thing is, it's not. I couldn't turn it, like, sew it onto something because it does say on the back, at least mine does. Mine says you can't wash it? Yeah, you have to remove it before washing, so I would have to be, if I did, I actually would need to do a shawl pin type thing.
And I'm guessing they were made the same, even though this one doesn't say it. I mean, I can't imagine they'd be significantly different. But this one has a dragonfly on it. And
Mine
hers
just,
had a...
It's a resin with a...
Like it was almost like a mandala.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm getting a Doctor Who
Coloring book.
in February. So, I actually saw that and I was kind of like, I hope somebody gets me that.
And I pre-ordered it right away, and then I told Mom just because I was kind of hoping that if you like even mentioned it, she would know.
Don't buy that. No, I just thought in my head I wasn't, because I have a fair amount of coloring books, so I don't really need to buy myself any more.
I actually have. Eric was laughing at me because I actually have like 3 coloring books, and I haven't colored in any of them because I've never really just had time to just sit and color. I'm usually knitting, but I actually have coloring books.
Yeah, and I haven't really had. So that was something I would do more on the weekends, and I just haven't. Yeah.
Well, and especially recently, and because I got most of them within the last few months, and most of the time on the weekends, either we've been busy because we're home, or I was trying to get stuff done, or so it was just kind of the way it was. But yeah. I think that's everything now.
Yeah, I think so.
So, all right, bye now. All right, secret project. That. I know, it looks like nothing right now. See this itty bitty hook? I am hoping to make a couple little miniatures for Mom for Christmas. And this would be the start of a teddy bear arm. Hopefully the gauge is good enough, and hopefully I can see it. I need to move my it's not an OT light, but it's similar. I need to move it somewhere where I'm actually working, because the biggest problem I'm having is it's tiny and it's dark brown and I can't see the stitches. So far I've done 2 rounds. But anyway, if you see this, that meant I finished it. If it becomes a total disaster, this will get deleted and no one will ever see it. All right. I showed you last time a little mini tiny piece of crochet and said it was going to be a miniature bear. And again, I actually took a while in between recordings, so I am now finished with the bear. He is bigger than I intended because of my skill. I am not so good with the little bitty crochet. And I probably should not have started with dark chocolate brown, which is close to black. It was really hard to see. I actually ended up, just a second, going to Joann Fabrics and getting this OT light. Now the light doesn't have much, but the magnifying glass does. It still took some finagling to be able to have the magnifying glass where I needed it to be able to see and have my eyes adjust. You know, I wear glasses normally, so having my eyes adjust to where I could see and the magnifying was working, it was a little rough, but there he is. Now, after this, I had intended to also make a little pig. Mom once saw a feng shui thing that said that if you put pigs in a certain corner of your house, you will be prosperous. And at one point she moved the pigs in our house and suddenly everything started breaking, so she put the pigs back. So I thought maybe in one of her dollhouses she might like a pig. And this guy's actually jointed. So he's jointed with dental floss, so but he's cute. Again, both of these are, I wanted them to be 1/12 scale. They're not, but I'm hoping she can use them maybe for the Barbies instead. They were supposed to be for her Santa's dollhouse. Of course, by the time you guys see this, she will have received them, and then she will have decided where she's going to put them. Oh, and I like his little tail. And the tail actually works as a prop to help him when he sits. And the last item is a little gingerbread guy. Now, I will say the pink was a whole lot easier to see, and by the time I did this, and the designer had a different way of doing the icing, but I like this because to me this is a very typical gingerbread man. So, miniatures for Mom.